Okay, we are live, and I'm not sure if it actually, Becky will record as well, but we'll get it, from the Facebook group. Hey, welcome everybody. I hope that you all have a great night. We know that a lot of you are watching this after the fact, but I have the absolute pleasure tonight to get two amazing people, friends of mine, and we are here to just really celebrate Kathy Wells. So my name is Paula. You guys all know me, so I'm not going to spend a lot of time on me because y'all know me. You're in my group, but I do want to let Becky and Kathy each introduce themselves and tell you who they are. So Becky, I think you were going to go first.
Okay. Hey, my name is Becky Smith, and I'm super excited to be here and hear more about Kathy's story and her success, and just share with you guys. And I met Polly in Cancun because we both earned an Arbonne incentive trip to Cancun, and we aren't on the same team and hadn't ever interacted before, but we have become friends. And so this is very fun for me to get to kind of be a part of this. And as an Arbonne consultant, my goal is to share health and, all the healthy lifestyle with as many people as possible and help them reach their goals. And so I can't wait to hear more about Kathy's story. Thanks for having me.
So glad you're here. All right, Kathy.
Well, hi, I'm Kathy Wells, and I have known Polly for about 14 years. And you'll hear a little bit more about that as I respond to some of the questions, I think. But I have been with Arbonne officially for about 8 months, and am just like Becky. I'm so excited about the products and mostly about being able to share the healthy lifestyle and the great products that Arbonne has. It's just very exciting to me. So.
Yay. And Kathy, your background, just so they know, like tell everybody what you do, because it's pretty amazing.
Okay. I have been working for almost 44 years doing advocacy work and nonprofit work for victims of domestic and sexual violence. The agency that I work with, I retired several years ago, but I am back with them. We have 2 domestic violence shelters. We have a forensic nursing program, and we do all the rape and sexual assault exams in this 4-county North Alabama area, and provides crisis services, trauma counseling, suicide intervention and prevention, providing services for individuals and families who are in crisis.
That's amazing. Wow. And I didn't even tell Becky all that. But yeah. So, well, great. Well, we're going to dive in and kind of put Kathy on the spot, y'all, because we are so excited just to share. We want to just hear from her and just kind of hear about her experience with we're going to be talking about Arbonne's clean eating program, or 30 days to healthy living. Really, I like to call it that more than even clean eating, because I think sometimes it sounds so scary. And that's what we are here to do tonight, is just kind of demystify that, but also celebrate the success that Kathy's had, and not only just weight loss. So just so we put that out there, but to date, Kathy has lost almost 105 pounds, which is incredible, since March, I think, Kathy?
March the 21st.
Wow. You're on purpose when you have a date. So we're going to go ahead and dive into some questions that we thought might be helpful for y'all. So number one, or the first thing that we want to ask, is really, how were you introduced to the program, and kind of what made you decide to do it? I kind of know the answer to this.
Yes, you do. I was working in the Birmingham area and for a nonprofit, and was introduced to Polly at a fundraiser that we had. And I, at that time, was kind of wanting to lose some weight and get a little bit healthier. And she introduced me to 30 Days to Healthy Living. Now, this is 14 years ago. And I listened to her and I thought about it, and I thought, this is just too much for me right now. It requires a lot. It's more restrictive than I was looking for. But I did begin using the fizzes because I was trying to get off Diet Cokes. So not 8 or 9 months ago, Polly messaged me and just out of the blue one day and said, how are you doing? And I said, I am great. Except I really want to lose weight. And I was over 300 pounds and was having trouble. I'd had my knees replaced. I was having trouble walking. And I was just not healthy at all. And I, at that time, thought, well, if I lose weight, that'll be the answer. And Polly suggested, well, we talked about 30 days to healthy living several years ago. Let's talk about it again. And I had been praying for about 1.5 years for an answer to this. And when she responded to me, it was just like a lightning bolt. This is what I'm looking for this time. And but at that time again, I was still thinking about losing weight. But when she really dove in and explained the program to me, all about the gut health and everything that Arbonne exemplifies, I thought, yeah, this is really what I need. And honestly, the weight loss has been fantastic, but the way I feel has been far greater than the weight loss. I feel at least 10 years younger. I can walk. A couple Saturdays ago, I was at a big event statewide, and I walked over 4 miles that morning.
That's amazing.
And so, the real bonus in this is I've lost weight, but the true benefit of it is that I am much healthier. And I went to my doctor recently, and all my blood work was perfect. And it hasn't been. She said, if you keep this up, you'll be able to get off your blood pressure medicine. The only thing I want to tell you is that your sodium's low, so you need to use a little bit more salt, which I never in my life thought I'd hear. But
that's amazing. Well, so this is crazy. So you are answering some of our other questions, which is amazing. No, that's good though. I mean, we just want to hear, really your success, because we know that somebody out there might be feeling the same way. Maybe they're, and we do want to preface this for sure, you guys, by saying we don't make medical claims, but we're just sharing, our experience with this. So you kind of answered what do you love most, I think, about the program, but maybe just what do you love most about the program? Is there a kind of...
There is. It fits my lifestyle. Polly knows this. I work full time. And it can be pretty demanding. I write grants into human resources. I kind of step back from the advocacy role after so many years because it can be difficult. But I am very busy. I also have 3 grandchildren who are grown and 4, soon to be 6 great-grandchildren. And so I stay very busy, and it fits my lifestyle. I absolutely, and I thought Polly was crazy when she said this to me, but she said she loved the shakes. And I thought, yeah, right. And I love the shakes. I absolutely love them. And it fits my lifestyle because I do my Green Gut Glow in the morning, and then I fix my shake, and then I have a shake at lunch, and then I have a good healthy meal in the evening. And I think by coming off of so much sugar and gluten and the dairy, I don't crave a lot of things that I used to crave. And that's just been wonderful because I haven't had a Diet Coke in 8 months. I have, I just don't eat sweets much anymore. And, so it's really been wonderful, but it fits my lifestyle perfectly.
Okay, great. So that is good to know. And then I'm going to ask one more and turn it over to Becky. And we may cut a couple of questions out. We'll just pick out the ones that we kind of like the most, because you're doing you're doing the legwork. You're answering them all.
Well,
So,
I'll tell you, like I tell them when I speak about my passion, domestic violence is, I could talk when I really am passionate about something and really love something. I can talk about it forever. So you just have to, nudge me and pull me off when
no,
you
that's okay.
want me to
No.
stop.
No, you're good. I think, Becky, why don't we go ahead to you, because that next question, number 3, that we were going to ask is kind of can wrap into the end, maybe. So I'm going to let you jump in, because I know, Becky, you have some people that are kind of also considering it, and you had some questions to
Yes. Well, first
ask.
of all, this is so fun and exciting to hear. You are just amazing. And credit to you for doing the hard work and making this change for yourself. But did you have any fears before you started? Like, what was your biggest fear when you decided to go ahead and do this? Or did you have any?
Oh, I had some fears. Yeah. I was afraid that I couldn't do it and that I wouldn't succeed, because when Polly explained it to me, and, being off gluten and being off dairy and reducing sugar, I love sweets. And I thought, well, this is going to be difficult. And the big fear was that I would fail.
Yeah.
And what I've come to realize is that, you know, if I do want something really badly, that's not a failure. I can have something I want on this program, and I just then go right back to my normal way of eating. I do a cleanse and I'm ready to go. I was afraid that I wouldn't be able to do that, but and I was afraid I'd be hungry all the time, and I am not hungry all the time. And I eat very few snacks. I do eat some of the strawberry bars and occasionally, and I love my fizzes, but I don't snack a lot. So it's really those were my biggest fears.
Very good. That I feel like this is very helpful to hear that for other people as well. So thank you for sharing that. When you started, or now, did you have support from other people, from your spouse, family, friends? Did you do it with a partner, or did you just do it, on your own with of course, the coaching?
Yeah. Well, I had two huge supporters, Polly and my husband. He has never been the kind of person to say, you're too heavy, you don't look good. He worried about my health. But when I said, this is what I'm going to do, he said, okay. And he has a regular breakfast in the morning, and it is out, usually has lunch out. But he cooks and he eats the same thing that I eat at night. And that's been a tremendous help. And he's always very encouraging. He'll send me a text in the middle of the day, I'm so proud of you. And so that's been a huge help. And my grandkids, my granddaughters especially, have been very supportive, but I had lost weight before and put it back on, but I just know I won't do that again, because I plan to eat like this the rest of my life. I feel so good. I don't ever want to feel the way I felt before.
Wow.
I love it. That is awesome. Do you want to go ahead, Polly?
Yeah, absolutely. Okay, so let's see. Okay, let's to the next question. I had prepared these questions because we didn't want to just be stumbling. So yes, we're reading a little bit, but we want to be good with your time. And also just make sure we ask things that maybe other people would be feeling like,
Right.
are you having those fears, you know?
And I want to share that because I want to encourage anybody out there who may be listening, you know, to really take this program seriously, to really consider it, because it really is amazing.
And I mean, and I think it, you know, just the lifestyle, you know, that you're creating, like you just said, I don't want to go back. So you're creating a healthy lifestyle. I guess the next thing that I would want to ask, let's see, what from the coaching helped you the most? Like, was there anything that stands out about like, hey, the recipes or just the one, or what was it that you really liked about the coaching aspect?
What I liked the most was that anytime I had a question, and I had lots of them in the beginning, lots of them, I could text Polly and she always responded. I could send her a picture of a label or ask her what product she recommended, you know, like being off dairy, what kind of cheese, you know, those kinds of things that were really important to me because they were a normal part of my diet before, and I wanted to not have to change so much that I couldn't eat things that I enjoyed. So it was great to constantly have somebody that I knew I could count on, could ask questions to, and know that she was always there.
Oh, that makes me so happy. And we do try to, and I do think that's one thing that's so different about this program, you guys, because my background is fitness. I was in fitness for 40 years. And so I've seen a lot of programs, and I think it's just so important, you know, like Becky was asking, hey, did you have support? You know, like you need that, you need some kind of support. So, you know, all of that we provide with recipes and that one-on-one is part of it. It's just part of it. We don't charge for that because that, you know, we all want you to be successful. I mean, that's, you know, and we want to help promote that healthy lifestyle. So let's see, I might have one or two and then like kind of finish up with Becky. We're doing so good. We're getting there. Okay, this is a really good one. How do you handle, you kind of mentioned it a minute ago, like, hey, if I want to have a piece of cake or whatever, and we've talked about this before, but how do you handle like a special occasion or holiday or traveling?
Okay. The very first, I started March the 21st, and the weekend around April the 6th would have been my mother's 100th birthday. And so I'm from a large family. I'm the oldest of 7 kids, and everybody who could come, there were 43 of us, came to celebrate what would have been my mom's birthday. And so this was my first big test. And Polly said, if you want to have a small piece of cake, and I thought, you know, this is my mom's birthday, which also happened to be my birthday. And so I said, well, I'm just going to have a small piece of cake. And even though it had only been 2 weeks, I could tell a difference in my cravings and starting to feel different about the way I felt. So I ate a healthy meal, and then I had a small piece of cake, and then I came home and I jumped right back into the program. And that was my first test. And since then, I've had a number of occasions, including my grandson's birthday yesterday, where cake, which I've always loved, has been one of the centerpieces of the dessert menu. And I don't even want it. If I want something real badly, I'll have it. But I generally, it just doesn't appeal to me that much. So, but traveling was a challenge because we traveled twice recently to a niece's wedding in Lexington, Kentucky, and then we went to Florida for a week. And I just packed my stuff. I packed my blender. I packed my my greens, my my gut, gut health. I packed everything, my protein, and hauled it down there and just
That's what you
did
gotta
it.
do. Yeah.
And I thought, oh, this is going to be such a pain. But the first time I did it, it was a little bit of a challenge. But then when I did it to go to the beach, we already had a routine and it wasn't that bad. And I made my shake. And when we left out in the morning, I had a shake already made in the cooler and it worked well. So,
That's great.
if I just want to encourage people, if this is something that's important to you, and I want to emphasize, the weight loss was my original reason to do this. But by far, the way I feel far outweighs that. I know the weight loss has something to do with the way I feel, but I really feel healthy. And that has made a big difference. And so, when you really feel that way, you want to keep feeling that way.
You want to keep feeling that way. That's
Yep.
right. That's amazing. Well, I'm going to let Becky ask one more question, then we have to wrap it up. So Becky, I'm going to hand it over to you for a last chance.
Okay. Honestly, you have done such an amazing job. And my last question was going to be what is different in your life because of this program other than the weight loss? But you have just shared so many wonderful things that are different. If there's anything else you want to add to that, feel free.
There is.
Okay.
About 6 or 8 months before I started, my youngest sister called me one day and she said, I just want to let you know that I'm going to Ireland. She'd always wanted to go to Ireland. Our ancestors are from Ireland. And of course, I've always wanted to go to Ireland. Well, she and my sister, another sister, were going to go to Ireland. I have another sister who was not able to travel at that time. And another sister who had family obligations that wouldn't allow her to travel. But they didn't ask me to go. And I know they didn't ask me to go because I would have hindered them. I couldn't have walked. I couldn't have done the biking and things like that I did, that they were going to do. And so, I thought, I can't. I couldn't feel good enough to go, and I couldn't walk and do the things. So that's when it really started hitting me. I've got young, great grandkids whom I love and want to see grow up. And I want to be able to travel and do things with my family, with my husband, with my sisters. And so I think the biggest thing about the change in my life is, besides the health and the weight loss, is that I can now do things I couldn't do before. And I'm doing more with my sisters. I'm doing more with my husband. I'm just really enjoying life much more. And if you had told me that at 71, that's the way I would feel, I would not have thought that a year ago. I would have thought I would have thought I was ready for the recliner, and this was my life, and it's not.
And I honestly,
yeah, go ahead, Becky. No,
I honestly feel like that is why we do this, because no matter what age somebody is, I want them to feel like the best is ahead of them and that they can do the things that make them happy even into their old age. And you have just truly given us such a great encouragement. And I'm so proud of you, and I'm so excited for you. And what I love is, you've made it a lifestyle, and just kind of like what we talk about, those healthy habits, they make such a difference. So thank you so much. And thanks for letting me be a part of this.
Well, thank you. It's a pleasure to meet you, and I look forward to seeing you again.
Yeah, definitely.
Yes. Gosh,
Yeah.
you guys, we're so grateful to you, Kathy, for sharing your story with us. And we know it's going to inspire more people. And that's what our hope is, just to kind of a ripple effect so that we can help more people. Have
Yeah.
a sign in my office that says help more people, because that's what we're here for, really.
Well, and that's what my whole life last
Yeah.
44 years is about helping people. And that's why when you asked me, I thought, oh yes, if one person listening to this says, well, I'm going to try it, and it makes a difference in their life, it's all worth it, because it can change your life. It changed mine.
Yes, so good. Oh my gosh, y'all, we have to hop off, but I know that this has inspired so many people. Thank you so much, Becky. Thank you so much. I love this, and I will get this put into a recording, Becky. And y'all, what more can we say? I mean, it's all been said by the incredible, amazing Kathy Wells. So thanks,
Thank
y'all.
you.
Have a great
Thanks,
night.
guys.
Bye-bye.
Bye-bye.
Mhm.